Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Sarge42, and welcome to Highway Blossoms. Now, this is a lot like a previous game I played, which I absolutely enjoyed, which was If My Heart Had Wings. This is another visual novel. Um, I don't know really anything about this, except there's like something about a gold rush or other stuff like that I think in this. But I've really liked visual novels. I thought they're always a unique aspect of how stories are told. And I got this a while back in one of the bundles I pay for. I pay for one of my bundles in Humble Bundle. There was a bundle of a bunch of games like this, and so I got it and never got around to actually playing it. So I figured now that I'm trying to get back into the thick of things, I'm making more content, getting more variety for you guys, trying to anyway get that variety up for you. I figured why not give it a shot. But yeah, without further ado, let's begin. Side note real quick though, is there's no webcam view due to the fact that I don't want to break the immersion from what's going on the screen with my face. So there'll be no webcam view for this series unless you guys specifically request it in the comments. Like you guys, hey, we'd love to see your face so we can see your reactions. Then I'll do it. But otherwise, I'm just gonna kind of keep it out. Yeah. On the road again. Achievement unlocked. I forget the game for me is weird because there's no music. Because I have to turn music off. So that way I don't, get in trouble with the YouTube police. But I'll have to listen to some of this music, and if you guys really want to know what the music sounds like, just look it up on YouTube. I'm sure there's plenty of playlists with the OSTs. I almost said ODST. Wrong kind of game, wrong kind of thing you're looking for. Programming by Kevin Turner. Editing by Oric Orange and Sun Bosom. Interesting. Mondonator. Interesting. I really like the art style. I've always wanted to get into drawing, and I'm doing it somewhat now that I'm starting to draw. Oh, ow. That was louder than I thought it was going to be. The music ends, the cassette clicks to stop. Let's do a quick save. I've listened to it so many times I've even memorized the placement of the static from the song's original broadcasts. That's pretty bad if you memorize a song so much you even know where the static places in its original broadcast. I thought there was audio. I'm worried the deck might eventually eat the tape, but it never happened to him no matter how many times he played the damn thing. So I'm not too scared. It used to drive me crazy. Every day he played it over and over. He played it over and over again. Sure, he would throw on something different after a few loops, but soon enough he'd switch back and the cycle would repeat itself. Sometimes I think he would do it just to mess with me. I'd be in the back in bed smothering a pillow over my head to block out the music. He would just turn it up louder, even during all-nighters. That was so like him. Even near the end, when we had to finally settle down, he was still pulling that kind of crap. I'd come home from school sometimes, and the police would be at the door because the entire block had called in noise complaint. He said it was because he was hard of hearing, but I know he did it just to get a rise out of the old grouches who lived nearby. What an a-hole. I think that was his worst fear, ending up just another bitter sack of bones, so he did everything in his power to be the exact opposite, right up until the end. I don't like where this is going. Of course, that meant I would always deal with the fallout. I can't imagine what the neighbors thought, seeing a little girl go door to door, apologizing because some old man decided it would be funny to put plastic flamingos all over their award-winning lawns. I can't help but smile, just a little, even if it does hurt. I take a sip of my coffee. Outside, a heat haze shimmers over the never-ending oceans of sand. So much desert. I almost said dessert. Even Roswell was just a rock, sand, and a few shacks. All alien themed, of course. Didn't see any UFOs, though. UFOs. I'm not used to how dry everything is. Even with the AC on high enough to rip off my eyebrows, I'm still all sweaty. Ugh. Just gone. Guess that's what happens when you laze around in snowy Colorado for a decade. Is Colorado really that snowy? I wonder. In that regard, the desert is a nice change of scenery. I don't exactly hate it. New sights are nice, especially since his health didn't allow him to do a lot of traveling when I was a little girl. I could see myself getting used to this. Well, maybe in another 15 years when I have everything paid off. Ah, damn it, Amber. Snap out of it. You can worry about that later. This isn't your trip, so stop being so selfish. I push the eject button. Quick save. I take the tape out and look it over, probably for the 20th time today. Years worth of brown stains and greasy fingerprints are smudged all over, making it feel grimy to the touch. It still works like a charm, though. There are more cassettes in the glove compartment, a mixture of mine and his. Mostly his. I should just play one of those and get it over with. My hand gravitates towards the latch. It would be okay, right? No. I snatch my hand away from the latch and flip the tape over. Once again, I find myself staring. With a sigh, I stick it back into the deck. I reach towards the play button, taking another look to see if the road is still clear. Like always, it... What? Wait. What was that? I saw flicker. I saw it go in the corner of my eye on the side of the screen. Did someone just yell at me? I'm gonna quick save because I feel like there's a choice there. Isn't... I slam on the brakes, their shriek piercing my skull. A glance at my rearview mirror shows a girl cringing next to an ancient-looking car, covering her ears as I screech down the road. Making a U-turn of dubious legality, I pull up in front of her car, killing the motorhome's engine. Even this character's face is like, what the hell did I just witness? What did I just hear? I hop out and shield my eyes from the blazing New Mexico sun. Only now do I realize how precious the AC really is. I'm trying my hardest not to laugh because just the sun, hey, threw me off. I really am a child. It doesn't take more than several steps before the girl comes bouncing up to me with a look of relief.
Oh my god, thank you, thank you, thank you! I was starting to think no one would ever stop.
How long has she been there to say that? With each word, she gets a little closer until we're finally within touching distance of each other, her smiling face now filling my entire field of vision. So is she just like... That's kind of concerning. She's just like about, like within almost dang near kissing you stage. That's a little concerning. Should have come... So... I'm gonna take a gander here and just assume that she's been there for a while, and cars have just been steadily going by and looking at her. She's like, hey, and they just kind of speed up to go past. That's so bad, though. That's so bad. Okay. Her bright auburn hair is done into a girlish side tail, glistening beneath specks of sweat. Standing out in the heat has made her round, pale cheeks a sun-kissed red, but she still looks put together, like the desert would sooner melt her than do any real damage to her looks. I almost feel embarrassed to be in front of someone who dresses so cutely, her frilly green top and skirt putting my red t-shirt and khakis to shame. It's all brought together by one thing, though. Her eyes. They're blue. Vividly blue. Deep and rich, complementing the traces of her misty perfume as she gets closer and closer. Too close, too close, too close. I scramble back and cough, trying to hide any awkwardness.
No problem.
What's she doing out here alone, driving through hell? Is she even alone? I messed up the sentence, but don't worry about it. I peer off into the plains on the side of the road, half expecting a guy to pop up from his hiding place now that some idiot had fallen for their trap. That idiot being me, of course. But, much to my surprise, no one does. Instead, the girl continues to stare at me, smiling as she patiently waits for my response. I glance behind her, focusing on her car.
So what's the issue? Your car breakdown?
I think so, yeah.
If she's just standing there by her car, waving people down, I would assume that the car is broken down. She's not stopping there, just trapping everybody. Like, hey, come here, come down, so I can
I
help you
was
take your stuff.
driving and I just kind of...
Kind of what?
Stopped.
Yeah.
She lowers her head in shame, eyes fixated on her feet, kicking the dust around her.
I'm not much of a car buff, but I can take a look at it.
Her head pops back up and life returns to her eyes.
Oh, wow! Could you?
Yeah. Can't promise that I can do anything, but I can at least check it out.
That would be me. Like, for me, I don't know anything about cars, really. So I'd be like, yeah, I could check it out, see if there's anything that's visibly, like, that doesn't seem right. I could be like that with a lot of things, though.
That'd be great!
Alright, first things first then.
This thing looks even older than my motorhome. It was probably a nice car once upon a time, but with a dented grille, multiple scratches, and faded murky green color, it's hard to believe such a cute girl was driving it. I slide into the fabric seat and start the ignition. I don't know too much about how this stuff works, just enough to keep the motorhome from giving out. But I can't imagine it's too significant of an issue. Probably just a dead battery or... no gas. Sorry, it's just, she's all like, just seeing the two people here you can see on the screen. You have the cute frilly girl on the right who's like, oh, I don't know, I was driving and my car just stopped, I don't understand what's going on. Then there's me just going, my character just going, are you kidding me? How does someone like this not realize they're out of gas? Like, come on. A single car passes by, cooling us with a refreshing gust of wind, sprinkled with dirt and sand.
Is something wrong?
I mean, you're an airhead, does that count? Is this a joke?
Oh no, did I break it?
She's... My character's like, oh my god.
No, it's just out of gas.
What? No way! Dad said I should have filled up before I left.
Apparently you didn't listen, and now look where you are. Is she for real? Why is this girl in the middle of nowhere by herself? Hold on, I'm gonna turn that game audio down a little bit. It's nothing. Let's turn it down to 75 because that is so loud in my ear. You guys probably don't hear it, or I mean, you guys hear it, but I don't know how well it's gonna translate in recording compared to what I'm listening to. As if trying to force all the ideas into the center of her brain, the girl grabs her head and whines under her breath.
Ah, man, and I didn't charge my phone either. What am I gonna do?
I'd offer her mine, but I've never had a cell phone in my life. Wow. It's a good thing she doesn't live in this day and age. That'd be unheard of. Even like 7-year-olds seem to be have cell phones now. Seems like you'd have to be pretty absent-minded to forget that, though. She whines once more and turns to me.
Hey, this might seem a little weird.
Oh boy, where is this going? Oh no.
But could you take me somewhere nearby so I can get some gas?
And what do you know? She actually did it.
How long did you say you've been stuck out here?
I don't know. A few hours, maybe? I've been trying to wave down everyone who drives by, but you were the first to stop.
Hold on, everyone?
Yep.
This heat must have fried her brain. Does she have any idea how dangerous that is?
That's probably not a good idea, you know.
She cocks her head to the side and gives me a look of genuine curiosity, like it wasn't obvious or something.
Huh? Why?
Well, you know. A cute young girl alone in the middle of the desert? It's just asking for trouble.
But you're a cute young girl alone in the middle of a desert.
But I have a working car.
What?
Oh man, what kind of game am I getting into? I already don't know what I'm doing with my life. I have no idea here. This is definitely, I don't know how I feel. I don't know what I'm dealing with right now. Her comeback takes me off guard, and I turn away a little, avoiding eye contact.
Yeah, but that's different.
A smile returns to her face, the same bright one that she showed me when I first pulled over. I'm still avoiding eye contact, but she leans over to the direction I'm looking and continues to smile.
So, do you think you can give me a ride?
She just sounds like the innocent, like, typical... I don't want to say blonde, because I don't want to offend any blondes here, but... kind of like how the whole joke around them is they're kind of space cadets. That's what she kind of seems like. She seems like one of those space cadets that's just, like, innocent. Her brain left... their brain left a long time ago. So it's like, I feel like I'm just talking to a wall here.
I don't know.
Please! It shouldn't take very long.
That's what they all say. This girl, it's like she didn't even listen to what I said. Still, better me than some psycho. Besides, it's not like a small detour will make me late or anything.
I guess it's fine. I'm not in too big of a rush anyway.
Oh, wait. Was that the walking animation? Just her icon just bouncing along? Just hop, skip, and a beat right out of there? Oh boy. This will be interesting, brother. Oh boy. Before I'm even finished, she's springing off the ground, bouncing through the motorhome. So she just literally bunny hopped right over, didn't she?
Hey, wait!
But it's already far too late, as she somehow made her way into the motorhome before its owner even finding the time to give me a small wave from the passenger seat. I heave a heavy sigh, rubbing my temple as I climb back up into the driver's seat. The key is still dangling in the ignition. I wrench it around and the motorhome roars to life, forcing a surprised squeak out of the girl.
By the way, my name is Marina. Thank you so much for helping me out.
Amber, don't mention it.
You know, I can't imagine how scary this would be. Well, I mean, I could, honestly. Getting in a car with a complete stranger is terrifying. Even if it's just like someone your friends know, but you have never really met them, is terrifying. So, for the most part. So it's like, I can just imagine getting in a car with a random stranger and taking off, or being the driver having a random stranger in your car. Careful not to hit her car, I back the RV up and turn it around, sending us in my original direction. Could you imagine? You back your RV up to head to a good direction, and you just rail her car and then take off. Man, that's bad. Nope. I reach for the play button on the cassette player, finally giving in to temptation. But Marina starts up again.
Why aren't we going the other way? Wasn't there a station a little ways back?
It was more than a little ways back. I saw a sign a few miles ago that said there was a station not too far from here, so we're going there.
Smart.
Oh wow, I didn't even see that. You're really observant.
Oh man, please tell me she's where we're going. Like, that she was actually supposed to be in this desert. She didn't just take a wrong turn, end up like a few clicks some direction, not realizing that she was in the wrong neighborhood. Yeah, or you're just really oblivious.
Not really.
Silence falls between us, the roaring of the engine and swishing of the wind from outside being the only sounds. I take that as my cue and reach for the cassette player once more, finally give...
How do you even drive this thing? It's huge!
My character looks so annoyed. Amber looks just like, really? Every time you shut up, I'm like, oh, okay, you've been quiet for a while. I'm gonna hit the cassette player, then you start talking again. What the heck? Marina spreads her arms out like an eagle, unfurling its wings, almost bopping me on the head in the process. I clear my throat and grab her arm out from the air, gently placing it on her lap.
It's not that bad. You get used to it.
She tilts her head to the side and gives a light grunt as if saying, "That's so," and we return to the silence up before. She almost looks like she's smirking at me. Again, I reach for the cassette plate.
So what are you doing out here? Are you going camping? Seems like what you're doing is fun.
Oh boy. I take a deep breath and hold it on as long as possible before letting it out.
Just traveling. What about you? Why are you out here?
Oh, well, it's kinda silly.
Oh no. She scratches her head and lets out an embarrassed laugh before staring at her feet. She quiets down and surprisingly stays quiet. I'm trying my hardest not to laugh because I'm expecting this is where she tells me she's in the wrong. She's supposed to be like a state a different state. She took a wrong turn. That's just the character I see her as. Well, looks like that worked. I reached for the cassette player one last time. I stopped for a moment to look at the glove compartment and then Marina, who looks lost in thought. Finally, I pressed play. Oh, is that how they transition it? Just a black screen? Well, it's probably supposed to be an actual transition there, but... A pleasant little chime greets me as I enter the station, Marina trailing closely behind. The drive was quiet after I turned the music on. Turning the tables on her and asking what she was doing out there seemed to throw her off. I didn't mean to come off as cold as I did. It's just been ages since I've had a conversation beyond accepting some half-hearted condolences, though to be fair, I haven't really wanted to hold one. So, I'm assuming, and I know when you assume you make an ass out of you and me, but I'm assuming here that the guy that she's talking about was her father, and that she's traveling now. Sorry, I got something in my throat. Let me get a drink real quick. Now, I'm just assuming that her father passed away, and her wanting to just live life, I guess would be the way I want to put it. She's traveling now. The guy behind the counter is busy ringing someone up, so I set out in search of a gas can. The store is one of those big mini-mart places made specifically for travelers. It's surprisingly clean for a place surrounded by sand. Every corner has an unnatural sanitary shine, accompanied by the scent of citrus cleaning product.
Hey, they have cola flavor here!
The cola flavor? It's just flavoring. I turn and find Marina clutching the slushy machine, her eyes widening like a cat's when tempted with yarn.
Don't most gas stations have it?
She shakes her head but doesn't take her eyes off the machine. I'm pretty sure they do.
All the places back home only had cherry and raspberry. When we got sick of them, we just had to mix them together.
Ew. Cherry raspberry? That sounds like it'd be really weird. It'd almost be like... I don't know if that'd be more of a bitter taste or a sweeter taste. Because I think cherry has... It's not a bitter taste, but it's not sweet. It's like... I don't know how I describe cherry. I think, anyway. I haven't had really many cherry products in quite some time, so... I could just be wrong and being an a-hole here.
But...
Marina finally turns to me, wearing a face of pure, concentrated sadness.
I left my wallet in the car.
Oh, boy. So not only did you run out of gas, you've been stranded there for hours, waving every single person down. You... We go to get gas. You won't tell me why you're there. And you left your wallet in the car. Oh, for the love of... It's the saddest thing I've ever seen. Just looking at her, I can feel my heart break. Wait a second.
How were you expecting to pay for the gas?
I don't know. I just remembered.
How did she last 5 minutes out in the desert?
Fine, I guess I'll pay for it.
Really?
I don't have a choice. Unless I want to leave
Yeah,
you out
yeah. And grab yourself one of those slushies, too.
there. Now I'm just being nice.
But make it a small one.
Her pure concentrated sadness melts into pure concentrated happiness. That's dangerous. Does that mean if she ever got angry, it'd just be pure concentrated anger? Just pure concentrated rage.
You're the best, Amber!
She grabs a cup and holds down the button until the slushy overflows and drips down the side. I was going to pay for the gas anyway, but I'm hoping the drink makes up for the drive over. I spot the gas cans and with Marina happily sipping her drink, grab one and head for the counter. The guy at the register is still ringing up the same girl. Lines of flimsy plastic bags line the counter, filled with a mixture of off-brand junk food and gardening tools. Oh boy. He scans the items as the girl digs through her wallet, her bandana-wrapped head pressing a phone against her shoulder. You know, I'm actually do a hard save here because I feel like we're about to get to where actual... I don't know if this game has a lot of, like, choices, like dialogue. Because I know some of these visual novels have, like, oh, you can say this or this or that. Or, can you... do you want to help her? Yes or no? Or things like that. So I don't know if this visual novel will have that or if it's literally just a linear story you just get to play through with no choices.
Aren't you supposed to be the badass mechanic? What good are you if you're not?
Oh, God. She swipes out a card and hands it to the cashier, more interested in staring at her nails than looking at him. Oh, boy. So she's... Oh, God.
How the hell would I know? Have the squirt check underneath if you're so curious.
On the other end of the line, I can hear the faintest of squabbling. I can't make out anything they're saying, but the tone sounds worlds more tolerable than the girl's. Well, yeah, because she's apparently rude.
If it's that old, then I say do it. Cash is cash. It's not like anyone's gonna care.
Please tell me this isn't about the green car.
You better not take as long as last time, though. I'll be waiting for you slackers outside.
The girl slips her phone back into the crevices of her dangerously unzipped jumpsuit. What little clothing she has on underneath looks like it's going to burst from the slightest movement. Not my type, especially with that personality, but it's hard for me to do anything other than stare. The attendant reaches out to help with the bags, but the girl snaps them away before he can. She shoots him with a heated glare that burns straight through the man and into the wall behind him. Turning around, the girl looks at us for a second before rolling her eyes, then marches out the door, the bags weighing her down as they nearly scrape the ground. Yeah, definitely not my type.
Good luck.
Marina and I set the can and nearly empty slushy on the counter.
Will that be all?
Yeah, sorry for more boring than that other girl.
The attendant hacks out a dry cackle and scans the gas can. He flicks his oily ponytail behind his shoulder and then rings up Marina's drink.
Been a lot of folks passing through and stocking up the past few days.
Okay.
It's been a good change of pace. I'm guessing that's why you girls are here, too.
Marina eases in towards the counter, nudging herself tightly between me and a rack, her hands creeping over to the slushy.
For what? I'm just heading out to California.
If I don't end up driving myself insane first.
You mean you don't know?
About? About what? The attendant freezes, forgetting about the scanner in his hand, blinding red light beams from it onto my chest. I'm not a scannable, sir. I'm not going to come up on your register, and if I do, then I don't know how I'm going to feel about that.
About what?
Why, the treasure.
That sounds like okay. So you know those towns where you go in, they're like, "Oh yeah, this monster's real," or like in old days where the legend of the treasure. That's what I'm getting here. It's like, oh, why? Like when someone's making up something just to get you to go and explore, to make the town more interesting. They're like, oh yeah, come on in. Don't you know about the treasure, the treasure of gold and riches? That's what I feel here. Marina's hand stopped just shy of grabbing the cup.
Treasure?
The clerk's chubby face morphs into a grin.
You telling me that you girls haven't heard of the treasure in the journal?
Yep. This is how I feel. I feel like this is all just made up. He's just adding details as he goes.
I have.
Marina? No, you haven't. You have not heard of this treasure. So I'm gonna have to ask you kindly forget you heard anything, you said anything. You just go on your way. I frown, embarrassed. Marina looks at the floor again, her cheeks flushing red. Oh no. This is why she's here. She said it was silly. It's because she's going after the treasure and the journal. Oh god. Here we go. I guess she's always just this forward.
Oh, well, I heard about it on the news.
Oh, joy. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you heard about it on the news.
It's kind of why I drove down here.
You drove out into the middle of the desert for treasure? Sorry, but you've lost me.
How about you walk back? I think I'm gonna skedaddle out of this treasure hunt you guys are talking about.
Not just any treasure, Missy. The miner's treasure.
Any other details you just feel like making up and adding to this on the spot? I'd be intrigued to see where you're gonna go with this. First, it's the treasure, and then there's a journal to go with it, and then it's not just any treasure; it's the miner's treasure. Oh boy! Is there gonna be like a hidden golden temple underground with it? I swear, if the next dialogue tells me there's a golden temple, I'm done. We roll credits, we'll be done. It's over. He says it like that should clarify what he meant. I stare at him. He stares back. I looked at her, and he looked at me. I looked at her. Sorry. I'm just thinking of that. Don't worry about it. Marina sips the last dregs of her slushy.
You honestly don't know.
No, that's what I'm getting at, sir. Whatever you and your riches are talking about, I have no part in it. What if I hit space? Is it? Oh, it just
Not a
plays.
clue. Are you gonna change that?
I prefer if you didn't.
A little feisty, ain't you?
I
Not really. Just have stuff to do.
I sound so amused, so just unamused, so bored, just like, come on, let's get this going, scan my stuff, and let's go.
Fair enough. A little while back, some folks were going through all the trash in their garage.
Oh boy. Let's continue on with
As
this.
fate would have it, they came across an old journal.
Oh
Turns
boy.
out the thing belonged to their great uncle. Or maybe it was their great grandfather. I don't know. Some dead old man.
Some dead old man. I cut him off with a cough. A polite hint for him to either get on with it or quit his yammering. Despite apparently knowing all this, Marina continues to stay focused with rapt attention. Sometimes her drink makes that annoying slurping sound again.
Sorry. I'll try keeping it short.
Thank you.
Anyway, after flipping through it, they found out that he'd struck it rich during the gold rush.
Oh, of course, the gold rush.
If he struck it rich, then wouldn't the family know about it? They'd have to be pretty well off, right?
Oh, I can answer that.
Oh, Joy, I'm sure you can, Marina.
He went back home to Missouri without any gold and told all his friends he hid it.
By now, the slushy is all gone. Marina tries for one last sip, but all that's sucked through the straw is air. She peers down into the cup and blows out a small sigh.
No one believed him, though.
I raise an eyebrow. If even this girl knows about it, then I must be more out of the loop than I thought.
Well now, looks like Sister here has been doing her research.
Oh, Joy. How does this airhead know what's going on, but I don't? That's concerning, and I really don't like it. Oh, jeez. Jeez Louise. Anyway, before we continue on with the story, I'm going to hard save here. And yes, I want to overwrite my save. And then we're actually going to end this episode here. I know we haven't got quite into the story yet, and I apologize for that. I'm sure in the next episode we'll delve into more. But anyways, if you liked this video and would like to see more, hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to click the bell so you can always be notified of when I upload. And then, while you're at it, hit that like button, smash it to pieces. And if you have any comments, questions, or game ideas, please leave them in the comment section below. I will read them. I will respond as quick as I can. And then go ahead and follow me on my social medias, being Twitter and Instagram, for various little updates on various projects or other stuff I'm working on. Follow me on Twitch for when I start streaming, so you'll always be notified when I'm live. And come join the Discord server, where you can come and join the community. We can all chat, hang out, and just overall have a grand old time. Anyways, as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!